Hey friends, welcome. I just returned home from a 3-week work trip, and if you've seen my previous videos, you may know that a couple weeks ago I published a book that I was writing. So I wanted to do a book about bourbon, right? I mean, you hear my reviews and stuff if you follow along, and just the podcast, just all this fun stuff. So I wanted to do a book, and I wanted to do a book about bourbon, and not, there was no thought or idea that I may become famous or I may become wealthy from selling books or anything like that. But I had so much fun with bourbon, talking about it and doing all the reviews and the podcasts. I mean, that stuff is so much fun. I can't even describe how much pleasure that brings me. But so I wanted to do a book, and so the book tells the whole story of my 6 years. That's what I wanted to do. And so again, I didn't tell anybody. I wrote the book, right? And it's 207, 8, 9 pages, whatever it was. And then as I began pouring through it, refining it, working with the publisher to get this thing published, it kind of started taking on a whole different element. And it's different when you're writing the book just with your thoughts and memories or whatever, and then you go back and read it, and then it kind of changes reading your own story, right? So needless to say, so I start pouring through it, and it starts taking on a different life form. It's just weird. So writing this thing, I got mad. I laughed. I had fun doing it. I cried because it was a very emotional thing as I went back through and read some of these memories and recognized that this book wasn't about bourbon at all. But that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be a book about bourbon. But what I found is it became more about how bourbon has impacted my life through different aspects. And in the end, it's more about life than bourbon. Bourbon is just an inanimate object in the book, but there's so many lessons, and they're really great lessons. And that's not me bragging. I'm just saying, because I'm the dumbass that messed up and learned these lessons. But there's very great lessons that wow, this actually applies to life in general. And it was completely unintentional. So if there has any influence whatsoever, it was an accident. But I'm so proud of this. So I came home today, and this is my not for resale author version, and I had not actually seen it yet. So if you look at this thing, it's only 60 some pages, 65, 67. And I say that because, like I said, when I first wrote the book, it was 200 plus pages. And as I started pouring through it, I realized the story was changing. It was no longer about bourbon. It was about life and how the bourbon has changed me. Just my thought process and going through that whole thing with bourbon. And so as I'm writing the last chapter, and I got done with that chapter, and I was like, wow, I'm done. I didn't want to go the next chapter. I was like, I still had 6, 8, 10 chapters left that I had written. But when I got to what is now the final chapter, I was like, that's it. This book is done. And it went to 65 pages because it ended up telling the story that I never intended to tell. But that was the story. So I deleted all the other chapters, 140 plus pages, because I was like, this is the book. And then I just wrote a final word in it, and that is it. 65 pages. So again, if you buy this, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know that it'll change your life. I mean, man, I hope you get it and read it. And if it does, wow, I'm glad. My mission was to help new guys and gals who are getting into the bourbon thing just to kind of find their way, because it does tell the stories about how I found my way with zero help, basically, other than one Google search, right? So, but that was it. It's called Beyond the Bottle because it's not just about the bourbon. So, again, many of you are named in here, my friends, and you probably know who you are because that was just part of my story. So, but I wanted you to see it. I literally just got this today, and I wanted to share it with the Mafia. So if you do care to go to Amazon, you can buy the softback. You can see it's not thick enough for a hardback, or it's available on ebook on Amazon Kindle. Wow, super excited about this. Remember, always use two fingers. Cheers, friends.